Well, today's show is a great show. We are in the Bayport Fire Department. I am here with my beautiful wife, Lori. I mention Lori on just about every episode on how well she treats me at home and she likes me working in the kitchen.
Oh,
yes. And we actually had a cancellation today. And last minute, my wife came to our rescue. And thank you so much, Lori.
I'm very happy to be here today, even though the only reason I am here today is because there was a cancellation. But with that being said, thank you.
In my defense, I've been asking you to come on the show a lot. Okay, anyway, what are we making, Lori?
Today we are making twice cooked pork chops, bone-in, and breakfast potatoes that are not just for breakfast.
Okay.
Okay, so first we're going to start with the pork chops. First, do you want to do the egg?
I can break the egg.
Okay, crack the egg.
Now, I had a hate email to me that I don't know what I'm doing in the kitchen because I made an omelet and I threw the eggshells on the floor and I throw all my garbage on the floor all the time.
Hence, we don't cook at home.
Yes, that's probably one of the reasons why I don't cook at home. But it was to Joe Public was the guy who sent the email. If you're gonna send me an email, send me a return address. If you want to give me some pointers, Joe, I'm open to anything. All right, so there's my first egg.
That's really all you need because we're only making two. One egg is enough. Depending how many you'll make, you might need more eggs, but one is good for now. Okay. So some people do flour and then the egg. We're just gonna go right to the egg and then right to the breadcrumbs. So one of two things you can do. You can either make your own breadcrumbs or you can go to the store, buy them. You can buy them plain, you can buy them seasoned. Even if I buy them seasoned, I still like to throw a little bit more seasoning in. I'm Italian, I have a heavy hand with that. Throw in a little more pepper, doesn't hurt.
As you can see, she has no problem talking to the camera like
just
her father.
Just like my father. You've all met him, Anthony, before. Some pepper, some salt. You could throw some extra cheese in. Cheese is always good.
And this is how it usually happens at home. She doesn't let me touch anything. No. I just watch her cook.
There's no amount. There's no put a pinch of this, a dab of that. Put in what you like to taste. That's it. So then we'll take our first pork chop. Very simple. Put it into the egg. Make sure you get it all nice in there, all sides. You want to have enough that the breadcrumbs are going to stick on it all.
Very nice. I love getting egg on my hands.
Yes, I know. Then right into your breadcrumbs. You could use the fork to throw it on top. You are going to flip it, but it's nice just to make sure you get it all on all the edges.
Very nice.
Cover it all nicely. Right, if you want to open up that fryer, okay, you can use a frying pan on the stove. I do think that an electric fryer works better. The heat is more evenly distributed, so it will cook evenly and a little faster. Okay, once you get it all nice and covered, right, if you want to take that one out with those, be careful. It will splatter. Be very, very careful. It will
splatter. I'll go nice and slow. Now, this is a first, because when I come into the kitchen to help her, she throws me out. Usually, I'll cut one thing, and you know, I like to throw things on the floor. She'll lose her mind. She'll lose her mind.
Well, you have seen in a past episode of Ray cooking, making, I believe it was his omelet, and as he cut the onion, the wrap of the onion went on the floor. The eggshells went on the floor. He tried to do this at home once. Didn't go over too well.
All right.
Since I did not have a sink readily available, I just have a rag here with some soap on it because, again, once touching pork, you don't want to then cross-contaminate. Okay, so those are going to sit in there just until they're brown on each side.
Is there any inkling that I would know that they're brown?
A couple of minutes, and then you could always look. It doesn't hurt to flip it up. It's not like once you move it, you can't. It's not done yet. No way you're done yet.
No way you're done yet.
No, not done yet.
Okay.
You need a few minutes. The reason that we are frying them first, we use the fryer first because we just want to brown the outside, get it crispy. By frying it quickly, you help to keep the juices in. Once they're browned on each side, we are then going to bake them in the oven. The oven has been preheated, make sure you do that, to 350 degrees. Depending on the thickness of the pork chops, about 25 to 40 minutes. It's okay to take a look, cut it open a little bit, and if you're not sure, put it back in. You'd rather have it undercooked, you can always throw it back in. Overcooked, not so good. And remember with pork, you just don't want it to be pink on the inside. Pink don't eat. You
Look
can
at
check
the
the
brown.
first one. Yep, take a look.
You can flip it.
Yep, you could flip that.
Let the second one go for like
Get
another
the-
30
yep, let
seconds.
me find my pan for that. A little bit longer on the other one. When they're done, we'll throw it on there.
Okay.
I'm surprised you're not splattering.
Isn't this amazing?
Which is why we are wearing aprons today.
And I'm wearing a
you're
very
supposed to
special
mention,
apron that it says Mom on it, but it was made by my son Jake. It was supposed to be for Dad, but he doesn't know how to spell Dad yet. Now he does. When he made it, he was only 3. So.
He likes me better.
And I promised to put it on Firehouse Kitchen. My son Jake, I had him on doing one of the safety tips. He loves, I did a first season of Firehouse Kitchen. We did this song on it, Firehouse Kitchen. He sings it all the time. He loves it. So
Check the other one.
Check the other one.
Give that a flip.
Here's a bit.
And again, some people might say, well, why don't we just fry it the whole time? If you fry it the whole time, you could dry it out. Again, the frying is just to get the juices kept in, and then by baking it slowly, you won't dry it out. Okay?
So how do you
That
like being
first one.
married to a firefighter?
It's wonderful. As you all have heard before,
That's
we have
the answer. It's
we have-
wonderful. That's about the answer I get with the just about
Listen, the
everything.
novelty wore off about 20 years ago. We've known each other 20, how old are we?
Oh my goodness.
27, 28 years now?
28 years.
28 years.
I actually walked into the basement of my friend Janine Volpe's house.
Oh, Janine will like that shout out.
And I never met Lori before. We went to 2 different junior high schools in Massapequa. And as a joke, you know, going right on the pan?
Right on the pan.
So like as a joke or dead serious, I said to my friend Tom Dernan, I said, who's that? And he goes, that's Lori Sino. And you're this petite little blonde-haired girl, big blue eyes. And I said, oh man, I'm gonna marry that girl. And
Hence, here we are,
here we
28
are.
years later.
Yes, it took me a couple of years to
28 years, 3 children.
Yeah, she broke up with me once when we were 15 years old. And then I had to dazzle her and get her back. And she made the right
So
decision.
again, like we said,
Right, baby.
the novelty of the fireman wore off a while ago.
Yes. Yeah, my whole family's fireman, so she's been, she loves it. Okay.
Okay, so the pork chops are done. As you see, they're brown, fried just on both sides. Once they're done, you'll put them on a baking tin. I like to put them on something that has some grates in it so that any juices or oil, it doesn't sit in that. Okay? Put it in the oven.
So we're gonna throw that in the oven.
Lost it there.
Wow.
And forget about those. Like I said, about 25, 40 minutes. Those are thick. They will take a little longer. Now, while those are cooking, you move on to your next step, which are the potatoes. Okay, we just cut up a few just to save some time. You can actually shut that off.
Okay, I'll shut that off.
That gets hot, be careful.
All right.
You put it on higher, baby. This is why we don't cook in the kitchen.
I'm very nervous
way.
right now because it's hot. Okay.
It's very hot.
All right, I'm
okay,
gonna
let's
I'm
move
gonna push
that
it
out of the
over.
way.
All right.
And we'll get rid of all this because we don't want to have any cross-contamination. Okay. Let's move these down.
Want to give me a little soapy rag? We'll just give us a little wipe.
Got it, even I don't think they were on there.
Oh, yeah, no, the eggs weren't
Nope,
on
the
there.
eggs were on,
Okay,
everything was good.
Just
Okay,
one time.
so take your potato. We are going to have some fun letting Ray peel it.
All right.
I already cleaned them. Make sure you do clean your potato before. Whether you use a regular Idaho potato or red potato, it doesn't matter. It's all up to you, your preference.
On the potato peeler.
You are the potato peeler.
I know how to do this.
Okay,
I can do this
I
with
see
these,
that.
right? And you put it right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Look at that.
Fabulous.
And,
This always makes for good TV. Just don't slice
yes.
your
You know what's
finger.
crazy is this is the worst. Potatoes we have in the firehouse all the time. And I worked in a firehouse where we had 14 guys working at night. I had a battalion in my firehouse. And that's 10 pounds of potatoes we would make. So the lowest guy in the totem pole, the probie, he would peel the potatoes. And I think I'm doing a great job right now, just to let you know.
You are, baby. While he is peeling the potato, I'm going to start with the onions because we do want to saute the onion first. I already put the oil up, just a little bit in there. You want enough that when the potatoes go in, they are sitting in oil, otherwise they will stick to the pan and you could burn them, and we don't want that. So we'll just get the onion going here. You're doing good with this knife. Maybe need a little bit of a sharper knife.
Okay.
And unlike my husband, I am not going to throw it on the floor.
Those are the firehouse kitchen knives. Can I throw this on the floor?
No, you cannot throw that on the floor.
A little bit?
No.
A little bit on the
As
floor?
it's going there anyway.
All right, now, okay. Actually, some just went on the floor.
I
Right?
see that.
All right, good thing we're not at home right now because I'd be getting a rolling pin on my head. All right.
All right, just slice your onion however you like, small pieces.
Okay.
While he's cutting that, we are going to take, I really wish I had a dish to throw them over there, the onions, and we're going to throw them in the oil. You want them to saute a little bit. This is going to be a little hot.
She wishes she
Drop
has a
it
dish.
in. Yes, I wish I had a dish.
Make sure you tell America that.
I'm gonna lower that a little. You need to cut those up. Let's go.
I'll cut these potatoes?
Yep, cut that potato.
All right, now I'm a really good cutter. Everybody knows. Let's see, I'll do one more slice. And let's see, Joe Public.
No, we're not shading the potatoes. Okay, you need to make them into bigger wedges. Otherwise, no, nothing is right. Otherwise, they will just become like a hash brown. We're not looking to make a hash brown. How did you even slice this?
I have no idea.
I have no idea what you did here. He went a step ahead, which he wasn't supposed to do.
I was going to mention it before, but my wife is not only this unbelievable cook, this wonderful woman of a wife.
Yes,
unbelievable.
thank you.
Stupendous mother, stupendous. But she also runs a karate school. And should I have you kick me in the hand?
No, that's quite okay.
She does her cardio kickboxing classes, martial arts. She's unbelievable, unbelievable martial arts. What got you into the martial arts? Who got you into the martial arts?
Yes, Ray, you did.
Yes, I did.
Thank you so much. But let's back up. My father did begin in the martial arts back in the early 70s, so it was in my blood, so he's not getting all credit for it.
Yeah, I tell that story with Anthony, that when I first met him, that he was a black belt. I was like, oh my gosh, your dad's a black belt. I was just a lowly brown belt at the time, but...
All right, so...
I have progressed.
Back to the onions. We are just going to let them saute until they get a little brown. You don't want to let them cook too much because then once the potatoes go in, they'll be burned and you'll ruin the potatoes. So just let them get a little bit brown. We're almost there. Raise the temperature. We are probably...
Now, what did we season these bad boys with?
So, once the potatoes go in, we're going to throw our seasonings on.
Okay.
Jumping ahead of me here.
I'm jumping ahead. I saw some seasonings on the
Well, we made it look pretty.
Okay, so we made it look pretty.
Okay, we just want them to look pretty. But we will. We'll use paprika. I don't use cheese. You can. Parmesan cheese never hurts anything, but I don't use it in this. Some paprika for coloring and flavor. Your parsley for flavor. Salt and pepper to taste. How much? Again, I don't know. Whatever you like it. Do you like it a little salty? Put more salt in. Do you like it a little spicy? Put more pepper in.
That's how
it's all up to you.
That's the Italians.
Yes, that's how the Italians do.
You taste and you add as you taste, right? That's my Italian accent.
My father always said, just like his mother, we have a heavy hand with the salt. Just be careful. Once you put it in, you can't take it out. Don't be afraid to taste. You can always add more. So let's get those potatoes in.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're gonna season.
Enough paprika that it's covered all over. You want it to have the coloring of it. I'll just throw it all in there, it's easier.
There you go.
There you go.
I like
That's
paprika.
all right. Paprika is good. And then your parsley. That's really just for color. Salt and pepper. You want to grab the pepper, right?
Sure. Tell me when.
A little bit more than that.
Oh, okay.
See, as I told you, a heavy hand. Mix it all up. Okay, so once your potatoes are in and they're all nice and covered by all your seasonings, like I said, drop the temperature down a little bit because you don't want them to stick to the bottom of the pan.
To what, like almost like a simmer?
Yeah, just simmer. We're gonna take the lid, cover it up. You wanna check them every couple of minutes, move them around so that they don't stick again. You don't want them to get brown and burned on one side. So every couple of minutes come, give them a flip. When they are soft, not mushy, when they start to get soft, that you can put your fork in it, cut it with your fork, they're good to go. Take them out.
Do we taste?
You could always taste because you might want to add more seasoning. So definitely taste. The other thing we don't want to forget about are these pork chops in the oven. They've been in here about 10, 15 minutes or so. We want to make sure that we take them out, we flip them. Do that every 10 minutes so that they don't get overcooked on one side. They're looking good. Close it back up. About 20 minutes in, give it a little cut, see how it's looking, and we'll be good to go in a little while.
All right. Let's clean up a little bit.
Okay.
And let's go to our fire fact. Hi, I'm Firefighter Ray, and today's fire fact is a towel ladder. Now, this can not only be used for extracting a firefighter from a building, but one of its main purposes is just throwing lots of water on a fire, okay? We call it surround and drown. We put these towel ladders up really, really high, and we just shoot. We can shoot 750 gallons of water a minute on a fire. There's also a pretty cool thing, our tips. If we change our tips up, it measures the volumes of water that we put on the fire. This is a small little tip that we have right here. This bad boy can shoot water out so fast that it can knock down a wall. I'm Firefighter Ray, and today's fire fact is a towel ladder. We are back look at these bad boys. Now, Lori, I did a show in Springfield, Massachusetts, and we made man chops, okay?
We don't talk about somebody else's food while your wife is cooking. Nobody else's food matters.
I was gonna say these smell a little bit better.
Then you can, okay.
That's where I was going.
We're good with that then.
All right,
Okay?
they look great.
Okay, let's plate them up.
Unbelievable. Now, Lori,
Yes.
I remember a time I actually made you dinner.
Do we really want to go there?
And I dazzled her. I had it's actually right after we got married, okay? And I told Lori I make a mean sauce. And this is before I worked in the fire department. I did most of my learning about cooking, even though Joe Public says I know nothing about it. I did most of my cooking, I learned most about it by cooking in the fire department, okay? This guy, Paul Fazio, I had on the show, he taught me how to make a sauce, put the pork in the bottom. So I thought I'd dazzle Lori, back to the story, and I'd make her this sauce, so.
Well, let me just back up though. It wasn't just me. It was my older sister, Melissa, who is beyond Italian, and her husband, Jack.
Yes.
So he was trying to impress all of us.
Yeah, her sister Melissa says she's from Brooklyn, and she lived there for about 2 months, okay, when she was born. I'm from Brooklyn, I'm originally from Brooklyn.
2 years, 2 years.
Oh, 2 years, yeah. So
Big difference.
2 years, she really picked up the streets and the stuff from Brooklyn. But, so I make the table nice, I put the spaghetti on the plate, some meatballs, sauce. Put it out nice, and made my garlic bread, which is basically just butter and garlic salt and cook it up. And we all sit down, and we're all just sitting down eating, and what happened next?
Right away, my sister and I, we drop our forks. This is John. No, it's not, no, it's not. To make this long story short, he was trying to trick us by adding some parsley on top. He thought it made it look authentic.
And I chopped up some garlic, and they caught me. And I said, and I swore up and down, no, it's not, I made that sauce. And
it wasn't, it was horrible, but years later, thanks to the firehouse, he makes a mean sauce today.
I do make a good sauce, but time out. John's sauce is good. I like John's sauce.
But you can't pass it off.
I grew up in an Irish household.
Exactly.
9 kids. We grew up on John's sauce. But I still like it.
Let's continue. Okay, so we have our pork chops out. They are done. Careful, these are hot. Your potatoes are here.
Wow, those look great.
Scoop some on the plate here.
Wow.
Make this easier, we'll just go like that. There we go. Get them all out. Now, you can do, sorry about that one.
That's all right, you know what? You know what I hate about that? I gotta eat it. All right.
We take some parsley again, it's just for coloring, makes it look pretty, never hurts. And you can do them plain, just like this, or if you want, we have some orange marmalade. I didn't make it. One thing I cannot make, so. You can go buy any kind of orange marmalade, or if you want to be daring, try to make it on your own. It's a little sweet, like a Saucy Susan. Take it.
Very.
Just put a little dollop, makes it look pretty.
And you're my little Saucy Susan.
Thank you. And
voila.
Voila, we are good to go.
All right, let's go to my fire fact right now.
Wait, can I say one thing before we go? You met my father. Now I'm going to bring on somebody else from my family, who is the main reason I am here today.
Very cool. Let's go to our fire fact or safety tip, one of them, and we'll be right back. Hi, I'm Firefighter Ray, and today's safety tip is about hydration. For firefighters, it's very important to be hydrated. If you're a little bit dehydrated and you go into a fire, you sweat bullets while you're in there, and you can go down, you can pass out, and you're gonna be a liability to the other firefighters. One thing that us firefighters like to do is drink lots of coffee. When I used to work in FDNY, I was good for 4 or 5 cups a day, okay? The golden rule with drinking coffee and firefighting is, for every one of these, 2 cups of water. So basically, if I drink a 10-ounce cup of coffee, I should drink a bottle of water. I'm Firefighter Ray, and these tips save lives. It is now time for the tasting.
So as I said before, you had met my father, and now I want you to meet my mother, because she's the real reason why I am here. Mom?
As you'll notice shortly, she's really the talker like her father. She doesn't get that from me.
Well, with Dad in the picture, you don't have to do much talking.
You don't have much time to talk when he's around.
No.
I could see it when I watched the show when he's on with Ray. and his mouth and his hands are going, and Ray's, I can see Ray's trying to get in there.
I love it.
He eventually does get in there.
Yeah, eventually I get in there, but I love cooking with Anthony and also now with Lori on the show because they're so knowledgeable on what they're cooking, and it just makes it very easy. I don't have to pull words out of them. They have no problem.
Well, it's not a matter of being knowledgeable. When you like food and you like to cook, it's easy to talk about it. If you wanted me on here to come and bake a pie, I'd just be staring at the camera because I cannot bake anything.
Brownies you make?
Well, yeah, because of Pillsbury and Duncan Hines. It's very easy to make them that way.
Well, you add your extra chocolate chips to it, so that makes it...
My mom is helping to do the baking. She helps my daughter bake the Christmas cookies. Again, something I don't do.
She loves to come, yeah, Christmas time, she wanted to come and bake cookies. And she did a really good job. I was having a problem with the squeeze on the cookie press. And thank God she was there because the arthritis in the hands, all of a sudden you start to say, okay, it locks. But she did it really good.
All right, let's have a taste, okay? I guess you and Mommy will share a fork.
Can we get a fork? Oh.
I can get a fork.
Well.
All right.
You know, my mother is such, see, she's already telling me a small bite. She's such a big eater. I'm gonna, watch, this is what I'm going to give her. And even that is way too big for her to eat.
Go ahead, thank you.
Here, Ray, I'll take your fork. How they come out.
Unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
Delicious. Oh, Lori, that really is very good.
Man, you guys are
But then I
freaking
shouldn't be-
kidding me. That's
I'm gonna say.
unbelievable.
You guys are acting like I don't cook well. Whenever I have
That was
dinner,
freaking. I said freaking with a full mouth.
whenever I have dinner on Sunday and I invite my parents over, and my father will say, "What are you making?" And then before I even tell him, he'll say, "Not that it matters, because everything you make is so good." Pat myself on the back.
We could be anywhere, and all of a sudden I'll get a text. And we could be out east, and all of a sudden a text will come in. Dinner in my house, 5 o'clock. Well, you see how fast we come back from being out east. Because she really, anything she makes is delicious.
Notice how when they're talking,
You just eat.
You just eat.
This is why I am as big as I am.
You know, a funny story I have to say, when you were talking before about Lori, when you met her, whenever they would have an argument, I would know, because I would go in her room.
Don't make me sound
And
psychotic.
all of a sudden, I'd see the picture of Ray now was upside down and facing the wall. And that's how I knew she had an argument with him. But then the next day or two, they were back together.
And
again.
let's just preface that with, she never sided with me.
No.
I was always wrong.
And I keep telling her that now that we're married. I'm like, you should listen to your mother, because she always thought I was right back then, so she probably thinks that I'm right now, you know?
Yeah.
Or what is it? I don't think I'm ever right. Probably I'm never right. The two things to say that make a happy marriage is yes and I'm sorry. Right? Oh, actually, I'm sorry, and one more. I know. Yes, I'm sorry. I know.
Not like that,
Yes, yes.
It has to be.
I know.
And he does. He does.
I know. I'm sorry. I know.
And what do I say?
I don't want to hear that again. That's
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. I don't want to hear it. You didn't close this. You did this. You put it on the floor. I call it the raptor voice. That, you know, if there's something on the floor, she comes over like a raptor.
Okay.
And that's enough. I love her. Okay, Mom, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
and
you.
having a little taste with us. Thank you.
It was great.
And honey,
Thank you.
Excellent job. To find out more about Firehouse Kitchen, go to firehouse.kitchenshow.com to get some of the recipes that we have up. And guys, I'm working on it. I get a lot of emails. Hey, that recipe's not there. I'm pretty much doing this by myself, and I'm working on getting the recipes up there a little bit more faster. Go to Facebook. You can friend us on Facebook. And that's about it. This was a great show. This is probably the best show that I've had because my beautiful wife and my mother-in-law were on it. Unbelievable. And you guys can catch us next time on
Firehouse Kitchen.
All right. And I'm going to finish this. That's why I'm so fat.